There are royal moments, and then there are moments that quietly rewrite the future of a dynasty. What happened that day lasted less than 3 seconds. No speech, no announcement, no dramatic headline, just a small movement from a 7-year-old boy. But that movement caused King Charles to pause, shifted the energy of the entire event, and left royal insiders asking a question they weren't ready to answer. Was this just a child being polite? Or was it the first public sign that Prince Louis is being shaped for something far bigger than anyone expected? Stay with me, because what that small gesture revealed about the future of the House of Windsor is far more strategic than it appears. There are royal moments, and then there are moments that change everything. Most royal appearances run on a script. Every step is rehearsed, every smile is measured, every wave is calculated, cameras flash, crowds cheer. The monarchy moves like clockwork, predictable, controlled, disciplined. But every so often something happens that no one can plan for. And during one recent royal appearance, something so small, so subtle unfolded in a matter of seconds, yet it shifted the entire atmosphere of the event. The focus moved instantly, almost as if pulled by gravity, not toward the king, not toward the future heir, but toward a 7-year-old boy. Prince Louis, the child known for cheeky expressions, playful antics, and those viral balcony moments, did something no one expected. Something quiet yet strangely powerful. Something that seemed to stop the rhythm of the day for just a beat. Even King Charles appeared momentarily caught off guard. It wasn't dramatic, it wasn't loud, but it carried weight far beyond Louis's age. And the internet hasn't stopped talking about it since. Before we go deeper into what happened and what it may actually signal about Prince Louis's future inside the House of Windsor, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Here we break down royal history, hidden symbolism, and the real strategy behind the monarchy in ways you won't hear anywhere else. And trust me, this story only becomes more fascinating from here. Because what Louis did wasn't just a sweet gesture. It was a glimpse into the future. At just 7 years old, Prince Louis made a move that stunned everyone watching. In a moment that felt almost instinctive, yet surprisingly deliberate, he lowered his head in a respectful bow, not exaggerated, not playful, just calm, composed, and undeniably intentional. The cameras caught it, the crowd noticed, and King Charles paused. For a child so often associated with mischief and charming spontaneity, this was different. This wasn't the Louis people expect to see in memes. This was awareness. This was understanding. This was a flash of royal gravity, the kind that usually takes years, not seconds, to develop. And that's when people began to remember something important. Prince Louis isn't just a lovable child in a navy suit. He carries a title shaped by law, legacy, and royal calculation. When Louis was born on April 23, 2018, a town crier stood outside the hospital and announced the arrival of Prince William and Catherine's third child. The official declaration named him His Royal Highness Prince Louis of Cambridge. But here's what many people don't realize. He was not automatically entitled to be called a prince. Under the original 1917 letters patent issued by King George V, only the children of a reigning monarch and the male line grandchildren of a reigning monarch were allowed to use the style His or Her Royal Highness. That meant great-grandchildren, like Louis was at the time, would not normally qualify unless they were directly in line to inherit the throne. In simple terms, without a legal change, Louis would have been known as Master Louis Cambridge, not Prince Louis. That changed in 2012, when Queen Elizabeth II made a deliberate and historic decision. She issued new letters patent declaring that all children of the eldest son of the Prince of Wales, meaning all of Prince William's children, would be granted the title of prince or princess from birth. One document, a few lines of legal language, and Louis's identity was reshaped before he even took his first breath. And in the monarchy, titles are never just decorative. They are positioning. They are strategy. They are destiny. Even his full name, Louis Arthur Charles, carries weight. Louis is widely believed to honor Lord Louis Mountbatten, the beloved uncle of Prince Philip and a mentor figure in King Charles's life. Mountbatten's assassination in 1979 left a permanent emotional scar on the royal family, one that shaped Charles's worldview more than most people realize. Arthur is a traditional royal middle name shared by both King Charles and Prince William, rooted in centuries of myth, monarchy, and the legend of Britain itself. And Charles is a direct tribute to his grandfather, now King Charles III. Every piece of Louis's identity was chosen care. Fully in royal naming, nothing is accidental, nothing is casual, nothing is simply nice. So when Louis bowed his head, quietly, respectfully, something about it felt symbolic. Because titles shape everything. They shape where he stands at events, how he is addressed abroad, where he sits at formal ceremonies, how he is treated in matters of state, and most importantly, what is expected of him. From the moment the word prince was attached to his name, expectation followed. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Many royal watchers believe Prince Louis may one day inherit a title with enormous symbolic power, Duke of Edinburgh. Originally granted to Prince Philip in 1947 upon his marriage to Princess Elizabeth, the title became synonymous with duty, resilience, and public service. Philip didn't just hold it, he transformed it. Through the Duke of Edinburgh's award scheme, he influenced millions of young people across more than 130 countries. Long before causes became fashionable, he championed discipline, conservation, and long-term service. When Philip passed away in 2021, the title eventually went to Prince Edward in 2023 as a lifetime appointment. And that detail matters, lifetime, because it means the title will one day return to the crown, which means the reigning monarch, possibly King William one day, will decide who carries it next. And if you understand how the royal system truly works, you start to see the pattern. Not the heir, not the spare to the heir, but the younger royal, visible, public-facing, trusted, who must carry purpose. Historically, the Duke of Edinburgh title is given to someone expected to hold weight, publicly and privately, someone steady, someone reliable, someone who represents duty without needing the throne to validate them. And that brief bow, small, composed, unexpected, made people ask a new question. Is Louis already being shaped for something greater? Because here's the truth about the House of Windsor. It is not just a family. It is an institution engineered for survival. Officially created in 1917, when King George V changed the family name from the German Saxe-Coburg and Gotha to the more English Windsor, the royal house has endured world wars, abdication, scandal, tragedy, and reinvention. Prince Louis is not simply a child growing up in palaces. He is growing up inside a machine built on legacy. Through his father, Prince William, heir to the throne, Louis is tied directly to the future of the monarchy. Through Princess Diana, he carries the emotional DNA of the Spencer legacy: independence, empathy, and that rare ability to connect with the public in a way that feels human, not scripted. And through Catherine, Princess of Wales, born Kate Middleton, he represents something unusually powerful in royal history: modern balance. Catherine brought relatability into the institution: a middle-class upbringing, public schools, a family business, a steady, calm presence that doesn't demand attention but commands respect. Her children don't appear robotic or manufactured. They appear loved, secure, grounded. And that balance may become Louis's greatest strength. Because unlike Prince George, who carries the unavoidable weight of kingship, Louis occupies a different space, a delicate one, a powerful one. He will never be first in line, but he will always be visible. And visibility inside the monarchy comes with responsibility. That bow we saw wasn't just a sweet moment. It was a signal, a glimpse of awareness, a flash of discipline, a reminder that even the youngest Windsor understands the weight of history. And if that was only a preview of what's coming, then Prince Louis may become far more central to the monarchy's future than anyone predicted. But this is only the beginning. Because in the next part, we're going to explore what insiders are quietly saying about Louis's education, his preparation behind palace walls, and whether royal strategy is already positioning him for a role far larger than the public realizes. Stay with us because this story is just getting started. Prince George is serious, focused, and already beginning to understand what it means to lead. He carries himself with the quiet awareness of someone who knows his future has been mapped out long before he can fully comprehend it. Princess Charlotte stands confidently between her brothers, often appearing as though she's the one gently keeping everything in order, steady, observant, quick to step in when Louis begins to test the limits. And then there's Louis, the wild card, the one who dances during royal events, pulls exaggerated faces during parades, and makes the public laugh when no one expects it. But that playful spirit should never be mistaken for ignorance. Louis knows exactly where he stands in the family. And more importantly, he knows he is deeply loved. He isn't growing up in his brother's shadow. He's growing up alongside him, supported, protected, and quietly shaped into something unique. His own. Louis's title wasn't handed to him by accident. It was the result of a long chain of royal decisions influenced by politics, war, and shifting social expectations. When King George V issued the letters patent in 1917, limiting who could carry royal titles, the decision looked simple at the time, but decades later, those same rules created ripple effects the monarchy couldn't ignore. By the time Queen Elizabeth II welcomed great-grandchildren, many of them were not automatically granted princely titles. That included Prince Harry's children, Archie and Lilibet. Their absence from the official list of titled royals sparked debate, and it wasn't just online chatter. People asked uncomfortable questions. Why were some children styled as princes and princesses while others were not? Was it birth order, tradition, politics, or something more sensitive, something the palace preferred to keep quiet? The questions returned every time the family stepped back into the spotlight. Queen Elizabeth addressed the issue in her own way through legal modernization. Around the same time, succession laws were evolving too, giving daughters equal rights to the throne. The monarchy was being forced to adapt to a changing world, and titles had to reflect that shift. So Louis, though third among William's children, entered the world as Prince Louis of Cambridge from birth. But the story doesn't stop there. Now that King Charles III sits on the throne, he has openly expressed his desire for a slimmer, more focused monarchy, a streamlined royal family with fewer working members and more concentrated roles. In practice, that has meant tightening public-facing duties, reducing visibility for certain relatives, and leaving some titles delayed, unassigned, or quietly minimized. Which means future decisions, like whether Louis's own children will one day receive royal titles, are no longer automatic. Everything depends on how the monarchy evolves and what Charles, and eventually William, decide is necessary for survival. In 2022, during the Platinum Jubilee celebrations, Louis became an unexpected breakout star. What was meant to be Queen Elizabeth's final great celebration shifted in tone the moment Louis stepped onto the Buckingham Palace balcony. As aircraft roared overhead, he covered his ears dramatically. He wiggled in his seat. He pulled exaggerated expressions. He pretended to drum along with the music. In a sea of formal uniforms, composed waves, and perfectly staged appearances, his unfiltered reaction stood out like electricity. The world didn't mock him. It embraced him. Within minutes, images of Louis went viral, not as ridicule, but as affection. For a brief moment, the monarchy didn't feel distant or untouchable. It felt like any family trying to manage a restless child during a long ceremony. And Catherine's response was its own quiet headline. She didn't react with frustration or embarrassment. She leaned in close, calm, and controlled, guiding him through the moment with warmth and steady authority. She didn't humiliate him. She didn't try to hide him. She simply parented patiently, firmly, and lovingly in full view of the world. People praised her for striking a rare balance, discipline without cruelty, control without coldness. It wasn't just Louis who stood out that day. It was the way his mother let him be himself while still keeping him grounded. And over time, other appearances revealed a different side of Louis. At the Christmas walkabout at Sandringham, he was polite, shaking hands, smiling at well-wishers, and showing surprising composure for his age. During King Charles's coronation events, he appeared focused, even serious at times, walking with his family as though he understood the magnitude of the day. His energy hasn't disappeared. He remains the most expressive of the three siblings. But what has changed is the balance. A young boy learning where playfulness ends and duty begins. Those who have met Louis often describe him as lively and full of spirit, a spark in his eyes that some royal watchers say reminds them of a young Princess Diana, spontaneous, charming, slightly unpredictable, and magnetic in a way cameras can't manufacture. And that matters. Because without speeches, without interviews, without carefully scripted statements, Louis has helped modernize the royal image. People who might normally ignore royal engagements tune in simply to see what Louis might do next. He bridges a gap between centuries-old tradition and today's hunger for authenticity. In a family defined by restraint, he brings spontaneity. But the bigger question is this: what happens when that free-spirited child grows up inside an institution built on duty? As expectations begin to form around his future, another story unfolds behind palace doors, a new era of royal parenting. William and Catherine are quietly rewriting the royal parenting handbook. Their approach is grounded in emotional openness, structure, and a conscious effort to give their children something rare in royal history, as normal a childhood as possible within extraordinary circumstances. One of the biggest shifts is their openness around emotional well-being. Both William and Catherine have spoken publicly about mental health and the importance of addressing emotions instead of burying them. In their household, feelings aren't ignored. If something troubles one of the children, especially someone as expressive as Louis, it is discussed, not dismissed. That marks a major departure from the stiff upper-lip tradition that once defined royal parenting. But warmth is balanced with structure. The Wales household is not without rules. Bedtimes are consistent, screen time is monitored, school responsibilities are taken seriously. Louis may be energetic, but he is still held within clear boundaries. Friends close to the family describe a home filled with affection, but also discipline. And in public moments where Louis has grown restless, Catherine redirects him with calm firmness. The children are allowed to be children, but there is a consistency that keeps them steady. A major part of that structure includes time outdoors. The children are frequently seen playing sports, helping in the garden, walking in the countryside. William and Catherine have long suggested that nature teaches resilience, calm, and gratitude for simplicity, values Catherine is deeply connected to, especially through her early childhood development work. Perhaps most striking of all is how present William and Catherine remain in their children's daily lives. Despite the demands of royal duty, they are known for personally handling school drop-offs and pickups. At school events, they blend in rather than dominate. Teachers and other parents have spoken about the effort they make to ensure George, Charlotte, and Louis experience life without being overwhelmed by protocol. Louis may be the youngest, the most expressive, the most unpredictable, but he is also being raised inside a carefully balanced environment of love, structure, and preparation. And as he grows, the world will keep watching, wondering how that wild spark will evolve under the weight of history surrounding him. Because as Prince Louis grows, so does the story of a royal family that feels more emotionally connected than ever. His playful expressions, his spontaneous energy, his visible bond with his siblings remind people that behind palace walls there is laughter, discipline, structure, and love. And perhaps that is what makes this chapter of the monarchy so compelling to watch. So the question becomes deeper than titles or gestures. What does this shift in royal parenting truly mean for the future of the crown? Will George, Charlotte, and Louis grow up defined primarily by duty, or strengthened by a deeper sense of self? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We always value your perspective. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the evolving story of the House of Windsor, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. There's much more ahead. And click the next video appearing on your screen, because what comes next, you won't want to miss. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Prince Louis is simply the charming youngest child of the Wales family? Or do you believe we're watching the early shaping of a future royal powerhouse? Drop your thoughts in the comments, I read them all. If you enjoyed this deep royal breakdown and want more analysis that goes beyond headlines and into strategy, symbolism, and the real mechanics of the monarchy, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because the next part dives into what insiders are quietly saying about Louis's education and the long-term role being prepared for him behind palace walls. And trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.